A lot of people quietly live with the belief that they don't deserve happiness. On the surface, it sounds strange. Why wouldn't you deserve to be happy? But deep down, this belief is more common than most of us admit. It hides underneath guilt, shame, perfectionism, and self-doubt. And it shows up in subtle ways, like sabotaging good opportunities, pushing away love, or downplaying your own achievements as if you're unworthy of them. At its core, the belief that you don't deserve happiness often comes from conditioning. Somewhere along the way, you absorbed the idea that happiness has to be earned, that only if you work hard enough, sacrifice enough, or prove yourself enough are you allowed to feel joy. Maybe you were raised in an environment where love was conditional, where approval came only when you performed, achieved, or behaved a certain way. Psychologically, that sets a blueprint. I only deserve good things if I've earned them. And because happiness can't always be earned in a measurable way, you may start to feel like you haven't done enough to deserve it. There's also guilt. Many people compare their lives to others and think, who am I to be happy when so many people are suffering? It feels selfish, indulgent, even wrong. So you deny yourself happiness out of a misplaced sense of morality. But guilt doesn't reduce suffering in the world. It just adds to your own. And keeping yourself miserable doesn't help anyone. Another reason is shame. If you've made mistakes, hurt people, or struggled with self-worth, you might feel like happiness is something you've disqualified yourself from. Like there's some invisible scoreboard and your past has put you in the negative. But the truth is, happiness isn't something handed out to only the pure or perfect. It's a state of being that all humans are wired for, even the flawed ones, especially the flawed ones. Then there's fear. Sometimes we convince ourselves we don't deserve happiness because happiness feels dangerous. It's fragile, unpredictable. If you let yourself enjoy it, you risk losing it. So instead of fully allowing it in, you keep it at arm's length. Psychologists call this foreboding joy, the tendency to brace for disaster whenever things are going well. And one way the mind justifies that bracing is by saying, I don't deserve this anyway. But here's the thing. Deserving has nothing to do with it. Happiness isn't a prize that gets handed out to those who check enough boxes. It's not something reserved for the guiltless, the perfect, or the extraordinary. It's a birthright. You don't have to justify it, you don't have to explain it, and you don't have to trade pain for permission. The irony is that believing you don't deserve happiness keeps you from doing the very things that create it. You stop taking risks, you sabotage relationships, you shrink yourself. It's like building walls around your own joy because you think you're unworthy of walking through the door. But worthiness isn't a condition, it's a recognition. The day you stop trying to deserve happiness and start allowing yourself to feel it, even in small ways, is the day you begin to break that cycle. Psychologically, this shift comes from self-compassion. Studies consistently show that people who treat themselves with kindness, even when they fail or fall short, report greater life satisfaction. Self-compassion doesn't mean excusing mistakes or ignoring growth. It means recognizing that being human includes imperfection. And imperfection doesn't disqualify you from joy. Think about it this way. If a child you love came to you and said, I don't think I deserve to be happy, what would you say to them? You wouldn't list their flaws or their failures. You'd remind them of their inherent value. You'd remind them that happiness isn't something you earn, it's something you allow. Why should you treat yourself with less grace than you'd give someone else? This belief that you don't deserve happiness doesn't dissolve overnight. It takes conscious practice to challenge it. It means noticing when you're shrinking your joy, when you're brushing off good things, when you're bracing for them to collapse. And instead of giving in to that voice, you pause. You tell yourself, happiness is not a debt I have to repay. It's a moment I'm allowed to feel. And here's the inspiring part. You don't have to feel guilty for being happy. Your joy doesn't take away from anyone else's. It adds to the world. A happy person has more energy, more love, more presence to offer. Denying your own happiness doesn't reduce suffering, but allowing it in might just give you the strength to make a difference. So if you've been carrying the weight of believing you don't deserve happiness, let this be your reminder. You do. Not because you've earned it, not because you've suffered enough, but simply because you exist. Happiness is not a prize. It's a possibility, and it becomes real the moment you stop waiting to deserve it and start daring to live it.